Hey guys, I'm back. Just wanted to let you know about a couple of comics that released this week, as well as some of our series shoutouts, and let's get into it. So, I am a sucker for action. Intense chase scenes, over-the-top one-on-one fights, cheesy one-liners, glorious victories, and soul-crushing defeats. I love it all, and this week does not disappoint when it comes to the hardcore action. Whether it being outgunned and ambushed in Captain Marvel number 24, haunted houses inhabited by high schoolers in Homesick Pilots number 1, or magical warfare deep in the bayou in Strange Academy number 6. This week is sure to be over the top in one way or another. Okay, to kick things off, we have Captain Marvel number 24, and in this issue, we see Captain Marvel in a post-apocalyptic future ruled by Ove, the son of Namor. And so Carol C and her warriors have been invited to stay as guests in Ove's house because it seems that Ove is highly invested into getting with Carol. But this could all be a trap. So in this issue, I know it's not as important as the previous two issues because there's first appearances and all, but we do find out who's Ove's mother, and it could play a very important part in the story to come, so I would just keep my eye out on this one. Be sure to buckle in for the ride with Dan Waters, and I'm probably going to say his name wrong, and I'm terribly sorry, Caspar Wingegard with Homesick Pilots number 1. Without spoiling too much, what can I really say about this image first is that we've got a teenage punk rock band and a haunted house, and the kind of chaos you expect from combining both those themes in the 90s. Once we are introduced to the two main characters of the book, the haunted house and Ami, you easily find yourself relating to her as well as keeping the wonder on how this haunted house will intertwine with her world. One of the best features of this book is definitely the art. They do a fantastic job on allowing the art to be able to tell a spooky house story and animating the house in a way that gives it its own personality. Picking up a new image number 1 is always exciting, and there's always possibilities of this property becoming the next big TV series or movie. Strange Academy has been one of my favorite titles to hit 2020. With Scotty Young writing and the talented Humberto Ramos doing the art, it was a sure success for me right away. But I just might be a little biased, but I absolutely love this comic. I could not recommend it more. With each issue of Strange Academy, I find myself more and more intrigued with the characters. This issue brings our arc to a close, sadly to say, having the students trying to rescue Calvin from the swamps of the Hollow. In issue number 6, we have an eventful, action-packed issues of our teachers trying to rescue the rescue team. With every issue under our belts, we start to pick our favorite students and teachers and wish them the best for their growth and their story ahead. Not only is this comic perfect for all ages, but it maintains a huge success in the secondary market every time a new issue hits stands. This comic series has been harder and harder to find, and number 1 even got a 5th printing and sold out. I highly recommend putting this book on your pull list and keeping it there. Now time for some series shoutouts. If you haven't been picking up the newest Warhammer 40k comic, you are definitely missing out. Marneus Calgar is the chapter master of the Ultramarines. He's from the region of Ultramar in the galaxy. The series follows the two main plot lines, one where Marneus is fighting against the forces of chaos, and one where he's 12 and he's training to be a space marine. It sure is one hell of a ride. Be sure to jump on. If you are not able to get a copy of TMNT Last Ronin number 1 first printing, well then you're in luck, because the second printing released today, and although there's a higher print run, it will be extremely sought out after. Taking place from the original TMNT series, the comic is set in a post-apocalyptic world where only one of the 4 turtles has survived. The Last Ronin is a dark, twisted path for our last of our legendary heroes in a half shell, and it's one I'm all in for. Lastly, we have crossover number 2. How could I not talk about a Donny Cates comic when it's always about Donny Cates? It arrives this week, and after that explosive issue number 1, how could you not pick up number 2? The comic continues to unravel as Ellie, Otto, and Ava rise from the ashes of their comic shop to begin their journey to find the truth behind the dome where all the comic characters have first arrived. Donny Cates sure knows how to keep the audience wanting more, especially with all those crazy Easter eggs. I mean, throughout the entire comic, it's so fun to read and so great to look at. Like, I just honestly can't see anybody not picking up this comic. Well, be sure to pick up all these comics and plenty of more, including Venom, Sword. You gotta check them all out this Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. Thank you. Have a great day.